oh, 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 Joey, I had the most wonderful dream. I was racing, it was nighttime, and I was in the brand new Honda Civic Type R.
But VJ, we're already in a Type R.
Huh? Oh nga no. It's always big news when a new Type R comes out, but this one generated a lot of controversy because they said that the styling was too conservative, too boring, and some say it's ugly. But compared to the FK8, I really like this new FL5 with its refined styling and more subdued look. It really goes back to the old EKs of the 90s. Of course, there's a subtle body kit to differentiate it from your regular RS Turbo and these gorgeous 19-inch alloy wheels with 265 30 series Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. And if you look behind, these are real Brembo high-performance brakes. Down the side, we have this lovely, subtle body skirt, which helps with the aerodynamics, and typical Type R fashion now, you have this huge rear wing, which surprisingly doesn't obstruct the view. And in typical Type R fashion, you have these red Honda badges, the Type R badge, this diffuser, and these triple exhaust pipes, although for my taste, I'd prefer a dual exhaust setup. Step inside the Type R and you're embraced by these wonderful bucket seats, which are of course bright red in typical Type R tradition. The entire interior is actually quite luxurious. You have this Alcantara upholstery, you have a dual zone climate control system, and a touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And of course, for your telephone, you have a charging pad, plenty of space for your things, including down here. And of course, you have a customizable gauge cluster. In the back of the Type R, you will find superb amounts of room. There's excellent legroom and fairly decent headroom, although this fastback roofline does affect it a little bit. You will also notice that there are only 2 seat belts here, which means this middle seat really cannot be sat on. Nonetheless, ISOFIX does come standard with these models. And unlike the regular RS Turbo, the Type R is actually a hatchback, which means you have a great cargo area, and if you fold the seats down, you can even fit all sorts of things back there. Of course, all the magic of the Type R is under the hood. We have a 2-liter twin-cam, 16-valve inline-4 gasoline engine pumping out 330 horsepower and 420 Newton-meters of torque. How's that possible? This baby's got a turbocharger. And of course, this is mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox like the old model. Honda claims a 0 to 100 time of around 5.4 seconds and a top speed of 275 kilometers an hour. With all this power and performance, Honda still made this front-wheel drive. Will it be any good? Let's find out. Now we're behind the wheel of the all-new Honda Civic Type R, and you must be expecting a 2 to 3 minute rant about how unbelievably uncomfortable this car must be. But actually, you'd be wrong. This new Type R is surprisingly civilized even in city driving. That's because wind noise is well suppressed with good insulation and seals, and actually, the exhaust noise isn't as loud as you'd think. I'd put a performance exhaust in one of these. But something you do hear quite a lot will be the tire noise because of these huge, wide tires. But that's something I'm willing to have with this level of performance. It's also easy to drive quite slowly because the clutch may be on the heavy side, but the pedal stroke is quite long and the bite point is easy to find. So city driving isn't as tough as you think. Also, those who remember driving the old Type Rs before they had turbochargers would know that they were quite lumpy at low speeds because the power band was so high up the rev range. But this FL5 Type R, in fact, I'm in 3rd, now I'm in 4th, and now I'm in 5th at 50 kilometers an hour. Changing gear can be as low as 2,000 RPM. Another great thing about this Civic Type R is the steering is very quick. You have excellent responsiveness and you can adjust how sharp you want it to be. However, the drawback of this is that the turning radius is enormous and you have to really account for going wide before you make the turn. As expected out of a performance car, the ride is quite firm, but it's not unbelievably uncomfortable. In comfort mode, it's like driving on street coilovers, but if you put it in R+ mode, it really is meant for the track. It's the same story when you floor it. Old Type Rs had to be revved to high heaven in order to get all of that power. But because this is turbocharged, you have boost as early as 1500 RPM. And when you floor it, she really goes. This new Type R also comes with a rev match system. So instead of doing heel and toe, you can just downshift simply by pushing the clutch and the engine will rev itself up. This is very helpful to keep you smooth in the city and on the racetrack. Something you do notice about this Type R, and this is a racing driver thing, the limited slip differential lacks a bit of lock, so at full throttle you will feel the steering wheel starting to tug a little bit on one side. I'd put a more aggressive differential if I were to tune this car. A Honda Civic that's worth nearly 4 million pesos won't make sense to everyone, but if you look at this as a Honda factory special, there's certainly a lot that it offers. If you're a serious driver who is well trained at high performance driving, you're gonna love communicating with this wonderful hot hatchback. And the FL5 Type R has accomplished what very few performance cars have been able to do. It's practical, it's roomy, and you can actually use it every day. And in that respect, it's certainly worth its SRP, but not more than SRP. Did you enjoy this review? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm VJ Bakungan from AutoFun Philippines. I hope you always enjoy your rides. See you.